Let's compare heat and temperature to two different objects here. If I have a bucket of water that's filled and it has a temperature of 50 degrees Celsius versus a cup of hot water at a boiling 100 degrees Celsius, which one has more hotness? Well, I think you can tell me just by looking at it which one is hotter, which one has a greater temperature. We could look at this and say, well, this one's boiling, it has a greater temperature. Okay? So I'm going to write greater temp, so this one has a lower temp. Now, how do we figure out which one has more energy? Well, when you're talking about energy, we need to look at molecules and particles within that substance. This has a much greater quantity, more particles. This has less particles, but they're moving really fast. Obviously, we know that the hotter the object is, or the greater the temperature, the faster particles move and the more kinetic energy that they have. However, we need to look at how many molecules there are. And in your book on page 315, we know that thermal energy is in an object is proportional to the number of particles in it. Temperature, however, is not dependent on the number of particles. This one has a greater temperature. It's not dependent on anything besides the average kinetic energy of those particles. And this is 100 degrees Celsius versus 50. This has a greater temperature. But when we're looking at heat, which one has greater heat, we need to look at the number of particles. This one has more particles. This one has greater heat.